Ooh, we got some melting. Shit! It's too hot.
Ooh.
We did some damage. My damn. What have I got myself into? So I made a promise in the last video and I said if a lot of you mention or reach out to me to go ahead and do this headlight swap, I'll go and make a video of it. Honestly, I really didn't want to make a video of it. I just wanted to get it done, but I gotta pretty much own up to it. A lot of you reached out, some DM me and stuff, and they said they really appreciate doing a video on doing this mod. The OGs would know pretty much, let's say 2015-ish time frame. There was this one time during, not band camp, but Christmas break. I just got bored. I really hated the factory look. My original headlights that I modded during their incident, the right side got damaged. So now I gotta replace my headlights. It was a very long time ago, around like say 2015. Got bored one Christmas holidays and just decided that I'm tired seeing these ungodly chrome headlights from factory that I want to go and mod mine. It was a little more commonplace back in the day. Right now everybody's running down their GTR headlights. They're not my cup of tea. Some of you guys like them. Because of that, I was able to pick these up at a really good price. But let's go over how to mod your factory headlights. So a couple tools we need to start off with. The biggest thing is an oven. We have preheated this oven to 270. A lot of people will do 250 to 280. I went 270. Preheated, it's already preheated. When you start an oven and you start it, the oven overdrives the temperature to get to its target temp. Never put your headlights in the oven while it's preheating. Do not, remember, this is the most important part. When you're preheating and you're starting the oven, never put it in until it's reached its target temperature. And that brings it back to putting your headlights in the oven. What the heck am I talking about? Some of you guys asking yourself. These headlights, this one's kind of messed up from Amazon, sealed together by Butyl. B-Y-U-T-Y-L. So it's a sealant. It's an automotive sealant. It's the same kind of sealant they use on like the door plastics and stuff like that, the weather stripping. It's a very sticky sealant. And these headlights are sealed with it all around the perimeter where the lens meets the body. There is a channel where that butyl sealant actually rests. A lot of people uses heat guns. They do the heat gun in a cardboard box method. They just do a heat gun along it, and it's not time. I want a uniform bacon to get that butyl softened and to pull apart. The other thing people do, they use a screwdriver to start prying. I don't want to pry it. So when you pry it, you mess up the groove and the channel that the butyl fits in and the clear lens actually squeezes into. So I don't like prying. I use it as a last method. A lot of times, if you get the temperature up properly, you can actually, like if you see this headlight, how the channel in, you can actually pull this side off, and how this corner is tucked in, you then hold here and you push the lens off. That way the channel is left intact, there's no deformation, and you have less chance of water and vapor getting inside it. We have an original headlight, we have our donor headlight. I am not repainting anything, we're swapping the guts off. When we get everything open, I'll let you know the mods I did inside the headlight. We got some gloves because these suckers are going to be hot. Going to be really hot. Get yourself some gloves. If you want to protect your gloves, because this stuff is very stringy and it's going to get everywhere, you could put some disposable gloves over your gloves. So Highlight exhibit for gloves and gloves action. I got my driver, I got some screwdrivers, and some pliers. This should be all you really need in order to get this mod done, or just to open a headlight. Like I say, whenever we open the headlights, we'll discuss more. I also like to put my headlights on a baking sheet, and I think it's very important too that before you put your headlight in the oven, dry fit it. Put your headlight on the baking sheet and place it into the oven. Make sure everything fits. I've already placed mine. If we do it like this, you would think you'll do it like this, but this is way too close to the top elements, and I will probably get an uneven heating, and I'll probably burn and scorch and deform here. So I've decided to lay it down like this, and this way I'll get an even heat across the body and be able to pull everything off. But before we do any of that, all this junk back here, all of this, we need to take off all of this. We need to remove every single harness, every single small of these little screws and stuff. Every little thing we gotta take off. So when you're stripping your headlight, one thing is to leave your other headlight as a key to know where everything goes back. In this case, I'm doing 2 headlights at a time. You will probably do 1 headlight at a time, and just keep the other side as a guide to show you what screw goes where, because these headlights are very intricate. There's all kind of bracketry. There's these brackets here, all this little thing bolts off. There's so much stuff on these headlights. Have a backup plan, or take a lot of photos. So let me get started, and I'll start stripping these off, getting them prepped to bake, and in the meantime, added new merch to my shop. Link in the description, check that out. Here. There's a lot of stuff that end up just wrap it in foil. Alright. Okay, so we're back. Pretty much went through, had a little B-roll there. Pulled all the screws off the perimeter. Got as much hardware as I could. The bottom here has this one harness that's coming out through this rubber grommet. It's going to be on the bottom side, so I'm not too worried about it with the heat. Everything else been taken off. There's no ballast. All electronics have been removed. The bulb, everything is out. We have all the bulbs. We have our switchbacks. We have our parking light. The main HID, everything's taken off. There's no real metal. I did leave on this bracket, this one bracket here and this one bracket. Ooh, I missed one right here. So now that we finally get everything apart, get everything off, let's go ahead and march us through with this headlight and get it pulled apart. Make sure I get everything down. Yeah, that should work. We don't really want the lens touching anywhere. We don't want to deform or color the lens. We put it down so it's far away from the element. So the oven has been preheated. It's been sitting at 270 for a while now. We drop that to the lowest. Put this in here. Computer, set timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
So while I was cooking, right now a lot of people in the comments are going crazy right now because we're using my home oven. Yes, we probably have some VOCs and stuff like that, but right after this project, I am definitely going to go ahead and put it on the clean cycle, which overcooks and overdrives the oven and burns everything off. So hopefully any VOCs will also go away. A fun fact, if you bought your oven new and you read the instruction manual, you will see that it does say that it will off-gas VOCs, volatile components. I'll put it in the notation. Yeah, it'll off-gas VOCs. And in fact, when we did get this house and we put the oven in, it did stink for a week or two after it finally burnt off. Everything these days gives you cancer. So while that's cooking, let's get the gloves set up, because when it comes out, it's going to be really hot and we're going to have to act fast. Computer, how much time is left?
You have 6 minutes left on the 8-minute timer.
Now remember kids, a watch pot never boils. Computer, how much time is left?
You have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 8-minute timer.
That was just nasty. Just nasty. Computer, how much time's left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 8-minute timer.
There we go, honey. Dinner's ready. Computer, stop timer. Very hot, very hot. Okay, let's burn our hands, guys. Ooh, we got some milk. Shit! It's too hot. Fuck me. We did some damage. So hey guys, this is Kevan from the future. And as you can see, I cooked the bottom of it. Looking back, I saw that I did the same 8 minutes, but it was at 255 degrees Fahrenheit. Back then, I did have to use a screwdriver to pry it apart. As you will see coming up,
at the 270 degrees for 8 minutes, I was just able to pull it apart, thus not deforming the edges. You'll also see for the remainder headlights, I kept it at the 270 for 8 minutes, but this time I placed the headlights on wooden blocks, and that took care of protecting the bottom from melting and still allowed me to pry the lens off by hand with no screwdrivers.
So let's cut here. Ready? And you gotta bend these little tabs up. Come on, motherfucker. Need a little bit of separation. Tab grab back. Come on, tab, quit folding back on me. If you can see here, it's opening a little bit. Shit. Go ahead and get the majority of it there. And then push this down. There we go. So we now got them separated. The headlight socket and the bulb and everything is on the main housing. The finisher part is on the lens. Let's pause. Let's bake the other one. So like I said, don't let it touch metal. I went and messed up. I guess I should have done my research. It's been a while. I thought the foil would protect it, but it didn't. So now we're gonna cook it over some planks of wood. We'll put it down. Make sure nothing is touching, because it definitely did. So let's go ahead. This is the damaged one. I want to pull the insides out, the clear lens, the painted shroud and everything, and put it into this one. This lens got cracked. It still got some Bambi hair on it from the accident. So this one I really need the internals. Everything else, I kind of suffer. I'm making sure. This is the broken one, so this is a dry run. So we're going to do that. We're elevating it in blocks. The blocks shouldn't heat up as much. This is one of the original ones, like I said. You can see some of the tabs are a little deformed, but as you saw just now, I literally just ripped it apart and pulled it apart. Let's go ahead. Let's put this guy in. Let's bake him for the 8. Oh, let's get all these parts back in here. Computer, set timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
It's crazy to think in 8 minutes, so much could go wrong. As you can see, it can. Thank God that was an extra set, and I started with the right side. I should have started with the bad side, the bad headlights, which is this. We'll see the blocks have changed anything. So this one might be a pain in the butt because it has extra butyl in it. So we got the bottom part. Now we need to push the top down. Ooh, all this extra glue. A bunch of pieces falling out, it's broken inside. So we don't want to pull. Like, see, this kind of loops over. We have a clip there. We do want to. There we go. Oh wow. This all kind of broken up from the accident. This broken. I think the back of the HID is broken. So I really wanted my painted inside, which is the important part. The other thing about this mod I didn't tell you guys about. This is a WRX STI lens, and this is a clear lens compared to this is one we just opened. I just laid it back down and it's got that hard already. So if you look over here, you'll actually see, now we don't want to touch anything inside because all this will be visible from when we mod the headlight, put it back together. So we have to change gloves. But this is the OEM projector glass, and this is the STI clear lens mod that I did. So if you look, you can see there's a cloudiness and there's a step to that lens, and this lens is just nice and clean. Let's go ahead, let's get these off. So this was a donut, but like I said, I've messed it up. Can't use it anymore. Which is fine because the right side, was no problem with that headlight. What I really want is my shroud. Everything else cracked on the inside. Cross your fingers. This is okay. Already see one broken part back here. There's a clip back here that's broken. Oh, I hate to get these painted all over again. Let's put this shoulder attachment on so I don't damage anything. Pretty much, there's that one clip point here and 3 screws. Here it is. Here's that broken part from the back of the shroud. Dang it. There. This here. My new shirt. Getting Butyl all over my new shirt. When you put in these back, don't use a driver. Put them in by hand. They're self-tappers. If you put in a driver and you turn them too much, you're going to strip it. Let's take our time and lift this inside part out. A bunch of Butyl in the way. I don't want to touch the inside because that's visible. Are you gonna just fall out for me? No, you're not. Okay, so we pull here first, we lift it out. And this is what I wanted to save. All that work for this. This is my original shroud we painted back in 2015. The reason I wanted it so much, this popped off, is because, you can actually do a clear lens mod to that, but no. One of the biggest problem is prepping this plastic part. This plastic part is all chrome. This plastic part is all chrome plastic. So you need to scuff this up and do a lot of adhesion promoter to get the paint to hold. The biggest problem, as you can see here, is where the HIDs are. It gets so hot that it actually bubbles the paint. And if you don't get it set up right, this is one right here, it bubbles and you'll get tons of bubbling. This set of bubbling, trust me, I am a-okay with that. If you look at the factory one here, there is even bubbling from the factory. So that heat really cooks these plastic. I've seen some painted shrouds that are way worse than this. So I'm totally stoked to be able to reuse this on the other headlights. Let's put this aside. I do need to take my clear lens out of this. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to discuss also a mod I did with taking this out. Got the donor one off. We're going to take the projector housing off to put the clear lens in. Just remember the one that we put the plastic protector over, like say just pop it off. Note that distance inside there, because that one you're not really supposed to adjust. So note the amount of threads showing through. That's on the other side of this connector right here. So when you're putting everything back, you'll put that to that thread. This one at the bottom, it's really what you adjust. This one here, I guess, would give you the left or right, and this is tilt up and down. So you don't always adjust this. Just remember that if you're modding, if you're messing with the projector bowl at all, remember those key points. There you go. Oh, I think that whole part is looking forward. There we go. That's forward there. And it's captive, so essentially we're unscrewing that whole housing. Now it's free. Would have been awesome to just take this off and put it in my other car, because what I did also is I modded the shroud. Let's go ahead and let's get this open up and gets in your headlights level and properly is a big thing. So there's the screws there, one there. It's for the front shroud. Front shroud, inner, I guess you would call it HID, I forget what they call this in the aftermarket world. Fuck me, don't do that. Okay, didn't touch it, touch the body. Let me go get some, microfiber cloths. I got extras. Extra gloves, extra towels. Golly, that's tight.
That's what she said.
Yeah! I really want to switch this, but we've kind of messed with it. What to do also on this is that inside here we have our high beam, low beam cutoff line. So you can see inside here that moves. You close enough? You can see it? Yeah. So inside here that moves. This is actually a cutoff line. So normally it's like this, and then when you hit the high beams, this moves away, and that's your high beams. I actually polished this and sanded this for a smoother cutoff line. This is an obstacle. I don't know if I'll be able to put that in the other one. It would be nice to get that modded cutoff line. I can't really tighten all this shit that tight. Because I took this apart to mod that cutoff line, and I can't remember putting all the damn screws so damn tight back. But I guess I did. It's been a while, but I hope this cutoff line is in the back. That way, because this one screw didn't come out. But if the cutoff line is in the back, I can reuse it on the donor headlight. Oh man, these screwdrivers are way better than those. I need to start using this primarily now. I would think I would have stripped that damn screw if I was starting off with this shit, with this screwdriver. I really wanted to buy a demonized mod to put in here. I didn't. I was like, that's just gonna complicate things. So this is actually trash, but this front piece, man, that is upsetting. That is very upsetting. But this is the high beam mechanism. This is the shroud line that I just glazed over very gently with a sandpaper to smoothen off that cutoff line. Let's see where I get with the other one, and we may go ahead and swap that out. Here are the two front of the projector housings. Here's my modded one. Here's a factory one. You can see over here it's a lot smoother. Over here just slightly, it's very slight, just very slightly rougher. It's hard to tell. Pretty much just take these clips off. Remove those attachment points right there, and just swap them over. We took the chrome innards out. I have my painted one from back down end of day 2015, around that time frame. I've went ahead, pulled the projector housing out. I've transferred over my modified cutoff line that I smoothed out. I've transferred over the clear lens, the WRX clear lens also. And now, all that's left really is to put a small line of butyl. It still have a lot of the butyl on here, and we didn't pry open the channel because we took our time and we used force and ripped it apart instead of using a screwdriver. Like I said earlier, using a screwdriver opens up this channel and it just disfigures it, so you don't get a close seal. All we really need to do now is take the butyl. After we pull a thin line of the butyl all the way around, we're going to put the cover on, squeeze it in as much as we can, put it in the oven to soften, let it squeeze in a whole lot more, and we put the screws in to totally lock it in to seal it. My last set was modded back in 2015. It's now 2024, and I didn't have no vapors, no leaking, no water collecting. It was just beautiful. Let's go ahead. Let me throw on another pair of gloves because this is very sticky. And like I said, we're not gonna use this whole thickness. I want to pull it a little thinner because we didn't lose too much butyl, and if we put too much, it's actually going to create a hindrance also. So you got to find the right proportions, the right amount to get it in there. And just stretch it out a little bit, put it in the channel, This one's nice, it's a little flat on one side. So to stretch it out, keep going, stretch it out. Try and get as consistent as you can. Normally, people totally remove the old stuff and put new. Like I said, I was successful into keeping these sealed for so long by just adding some to the existing amount. Cover on. Remember, this side's kind of tucked in, so you're going to slide this end in first. And then we go through and pinch as much as we can together. Try and get these points guided back together. I'm going to use my channel locks to kind of pull everything in tighter. We want to get it close, but like I say, once again, we don't want to deform anything. We're going to heat it up, and that's going to get it finally where we want it to go. So we just want it close. We don't want to damage the headlight. Okay, go throw it in the oven, bring it back out, and start screwing it back together. Just got it back in for the 5 minutes. We got to shift everything down into this corner. Squeeze everything on for the clips. Oh yeah. That's closing very well now. Certain areas that are strong and reinforced, I feel safe to pry there. But there's certain points, guys, just be careful where you're prying. Get those factory mounting points on. Actually here, the air bubbles in the butyl popping as it compresses together. Hear a little popping and clicking. That's good. Get your tabs where your tabs need to be. Like I say, this is an easy process because we did not force it open with a screwdriver. This is just going back flawlessly and everything really lined up perfectly. Let's start with this screw on top here, because remember this side slides out, it doesn't pull out. This hopefully will pull everything back, if I could get it lined up. Oh yeah, that sucked that part in nicely. Let's try and get all the circumference screws back in, and then we'll start on the auxiliary mounting brackets. Oh, that's going beautifully. Everything is lined right back up. I'm not fighting to find the factory points on the lens. Sucking in a beautifully. I think that's good. Let's go ahead, put the ballast on, and let me get the other light up here so I could look at what bracket and screws I need to put back on. Self-cleaning, guys. Don't forget, if you use your home oven, put that B to self-clean after you're done. It's going to run for 4 hours, going to run real hot, heavy, bake everything off, clean everything out. Here is the left side that was unscathed in the incident. I was technically probably going to use the new lens, but in all reality, it's probably better that we cooked that other one and didn't have to change this. We use this as a guide to put all these brackets back on. All the screws, brackets there, everything. Put the harness back in. Like I say, give you guys a guide or take a lot of photos so you know where everything goes back. Painter friend, JDS Customs, Seb is going to go ahead and just clean this off and get this lens back to normal. But if you look at the seam, we got a really nice, beautiful seam. Everything went back great together. Got the housing modded with the cutoff line. We got the clear lens in there also. And we got our beautifully painted shroud. If you liked the video, the information in here, the trials and tribulations of doing this yourself, please put a comment, please put a like, hit subscribe. It's a hard life out there. So many people making content. Really need to get those subscription numbers up to get to work with some vendors. Please take the time. All this is a lot of effort, and to throw film in on all this too, it's a lot of work. So please take the time, just a simple effort, hit that subscribe while I continue making awesome content for you guys. Learn from my mistakes while you guys have the easy track. I'll put a link to this in the description. And probably these tools, man. These screwdriver, they just, take a look. It just bit, I'm gonna put it here. It bit right into those screws. Zero issues. It was really cool. But until the next video, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you think about the channel so far. I love you guys for helping me out. I love everybody that comment. I read everyone. I try to reply to every constructive post. Debates are healthy. And until the next time, you all take it easy.